You've been talking to the universe your entire life. Every thought, every wish, every prayer, every affirmation, every desperate late-night plea for things to change. You have been sending messages non-stop, and the universe has been listening. It hears everything. It misses nothing. The problem is not that the universe isn't listening. The problem is that you've been speaking the wrong language. You've been communicating in words, in thoughts, in mental scripts. I want more money. I want love. I want freedom. I want my life to change. And you've been waiting for the universe to decode those words and deliver what you described. But the universe doesn't speak in words. It never has. Words are a human invention. They exist in the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is not where the conversation with the universe happens. The universe speaks in 3 languages. And once you learn them, once you start communicating in the languages the universe actually understands, the conversation changes. The static clears. And for the first time, what you're asking for and what you're receiving start to match. In this video, I'm going to teach you the 3 languages of the universe, the 3 channels through which real communication happens. Not metaphorically, practically. By the end, you'll understand exactly why your words haven't been working, which of the 3 languages you've been accidentally blocking, and how to send a message so clear that the universe can't misinterpret it. But I need to warn you about language number 2. It's the one most people are accidentally using against themselves every single day. They think they're asking for what they want. They're actually asking for what they fear. And the universe, which responds to the signal and not the words, has been faithfully delivering exactly what was asked for. When you see how this works, you'll understand every unwanted pattern in your life. Let's start with the one you already know, but have never used correctly. The first language of the universe is not spoken with the mouth or thought with the mind. It's broadcast by the body, and it's the loudest signal you send. Language number 1, your emotional and physiological state is your message to the universe, not the narration about the state itself. Most people try to communicate with the universe through mental content. They think specific thoughts, they craft specific affirmations, they build specific visualizations, and all of that takes place in the cognitive layer, the 5% of your system that processes language and concepts. But the universe reads the other 95%. Your nervous system tone, your heart rate variability, your hormonal state, the electromagnetic field your heart generates, the tension patterns in your fascia, the depth or shallowness of your breath, the subtle contraction or expansion happening in your chest cavity right now as you watch this. All of that, is language number 1. And it is screaming at a volume that drowns out every affirmation you've ever whispered. Here's how this plays out. You sit down to manifest. You close your eyes. You think the thought, I am abundant. Money flows to me easily. And in your mind, the message is clear. Abundance, flow, ease. But what is your body doing? Your jaw is clenched. Your shoulders are up near your ears. Your breathing is shallow. Your stomach is tight. Your nervous system is in a low-grade fight-or-flight state that it's been running for so long you don't even notice it anymore. That body state has a message too. And its message is, I am under threat. Resources are scarce. The environment is dangerous. I need to contract, protect, survive. The mind says abundance. The body says survival. 2 signals, opposite messages. And the universe, which responds to the louder signal, hears survival. Every time. This is why affirmations feel hollow after a while. This is why visualization produces inconsistent results. This is why the same intention produces wildly different outcomes on different days. The variable was never the intention. The variable was the body state the intention was broadcast from. Communicating in the language of state means making your body the primary instrument, not your mind. Before you set any intention, before you affirm anything, before you visualize a single image, you regulate your body first. You change the message at the source. This is practical. There's nothing mystical about it. Slow your breathing to 6 breaths per minute. This activates the vagus nerve and shifts your nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic, from survival to safety. Drop your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Let your belly soften. Feel your weight in the chair. These are not relaxation tips. These are signal adjustments. You are changing the language your body is speaking to the universe. Once your body is broadcasting safety, openness, and expansion, once the physical state matches what you're about to ask for, then you set the intention. And the difference is night and day, because now the mind and the body are speaking the same language. The signal is coherent. And a coherent signal is the only signal the universe responds to with precision. Here's the daily practice for language number 1. Every morning, before any mental manifestation work, spend 3 minutes with your body, not thinking, not affirming, just regulating. Slow the breath. Soften the muscles. Let the nervous system settle into a state of calm, open readiness. You're tuning the instrument before you play the song. Then, and only then, check. What is my body broadcasting right now? Not what you want it to broadcast. What it's actually broadcasting. If it's broadcasting tension, fear, or constriction, don't try to manifest from that state. It would be like trying to make a phone call while jamming your own signal. Regulate first. Communicate second. The universe doesn't hear your thoughts. It reads your state. Make your state the message, and the message will be received. That's language number 1. And now we arrive at language number 2, the one that's been sabotaging you without you knowing it. Language number 2 is the one that changes everything, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and you will immediately understand every unwanted pattern in your life. The universe interprets your attention as your request. Whatever you focus on, for any reason, in any emotional context, with any intention, the universe reads as, "Send me more of this." Not what you say you want, what you pay attention to. That is the request. And attention is not selective about positive and negative. It doesn't matter whether you're focusing on something because you love it or because you fear it. Focus is focus. Attention is attention. And the universe reads every sustained point of focus as a request for more. Think about what most people pay attention to all day. They wake up and immediately check the news, focusing on threats, crises, things going wrong. They check their bank account, focusing on what's missing, what's not enough, what they can't afford. They scroll social media, focusing on what other people have that they don't. They replay conversations in their head, focusing on what went wrong, what they should have said, what might go badly next time. They go to bed having spent 14 hours focusing on lack, threat, comparison, and fear. And then, in a 10-minute meditation before sleep, they close their eyes and think, I want abundance, I want peace, I want love. 10 minutes of request in abundance, 14 hours of requesting lack. And the universe, which tallies the total signal, delivers the 14-hour request. Because that's where the attention was. Not for 10 minutes, for the overwhelming majority of waking life. This is not punishment. This is communication. The universe is not ignoring the 10-minute request. It's being outvoted by the 14-hour request, and it's delivering what was asked for most. but it goes deeper than daily habits. There are focal points that run beneath conscious awareness, chronic attention patterns that operate on autopilot. Worry is sustained attention on unwanted outcomes. Jealousy is sustained attention on what someone else has that you believe you lack. Resentment is sustained attention on past injury. Anxiety is sustained attention on future threat. Guilt is sustained attention on past mistakes. Every one of these states is a request. Worry is requesting the thing you're worried about. Jealousy is requesting the experience of lacking what others have. Resentment is requesting more experiences that feel unjust. Anxiety is requesting the threatening future you keep rehearsing. Guilt is requesting more punishment. This is not spiritual theory. This is the mechanics of language number 2. The universe responds to sustained attention the way a search engine responds to a query. You don't type something into a search engine and expect it to give you the opposite of what you typed. You get exactly what you searched for. And every moment of sustained focus is a search query sent directly to the operating system of reality. Now, the natural response to this is, great, so I just think positive and never worry again. That's not the solution. That's suppression. And suppression doesn't change the signal. It just drives it underground where it runs louder without your awareness. The solution is not controlling your attention through force. The solution is redirecting your attention through awareness. There's a critical difference. Controlling attention means gritting your teeth and refusing to look at what scares you. That's exhausting, unsustainable, and it doesn't change the underlying broadcast because your body still holds the fear even if your mind looks away. Redirecting through awareness means noticing where your attention goes without judgment and then gently, consciously choosing to move it, not suppressing the fear, acknowledging it, seeing it, and then asking, is this where I want to send my request? Is this what I want more of? That question, is this what I want more of, is the single most powerful attention tool that exists because it bridges language 2 back to conscious choice. It turns unconscious requesting into deliberate communication. Here's the practice. 3 times a day, morning, midday, and evening, do an attention audit. Stop whatever you're doing and ask, where has my attention been for the last few hours? What have I been focusing on? What request has that been sending? Don't judge it, just see it. If your attention has been on what's wrong, on what's missing, on what you fear, that's data. That's a request you've been sending. Now you have a choice. Continue sending it or redirect. Redirecting is simple. You don't need to conjure a positive thought. You just need to move your attention to something genuinely real that matches what you actually want. Not a fantasy, something real. The relationship that is working. The project that is progressing. The part of your health that is strong. The evidence that things are moving, even if slowly. You're not faking positivity. You're choosing which real thing to amplify. And that choice, repeated 3 times a day, gradually retrains the entire pattern of your communication with the universe. Your requests start matching your desires instead of contradicting them. 2 languages down. And now, language number 3. This is the one that changes the entire relationship. The first 2 languages are about sending clearer messages to the universe. Language 1, make your state the message. Language 2, make your attention the request. Both of these are about improving the outbound signal, communicating more clearly what you want. Language number 3 is different. Language 3 is not about what you say to the universe. It's about what the universe is trying to say to you, and learning to listen. Here's what most people miss about the relationship with the universe. They treat it like a monologue. They send requests, they broadcast desires, they push intentions outward, and then they wait, passively, for delivery. The entire model is, I talk, the universe listens, the universe delivers. But that's not a conversation. That's an order. And the universe doesn't respond to orders the way it responds to dialogue, because dialogue includes something that orders don't: receptivity, the willingness to receive information, not just what you wanted to hear, but what you need to hear. Language 3 is the language of surrender, not surrendering your desires, surrendering your insistence on controlling every aspect of how those desires are fulfilled, and opening a channel for the universe to communicate back to you. The universe communicates constantly. It's never been silent, but its language is subtle, and it arrives through channels that most people have learned to ignore or dismiss. It communicates through synchronicity, those moments of meaningful coincidence that feel too precise to be random. The book that falls off the shelf with the answer you needed. The stranger who says the exact words you were thinking. The opportunity that appears the day after you finally let go. It communicates through the body, through gut feelings, physical pulls toward or away from something, the unexplainable sense that you should go somewhere, call someone, or walk away. It communicates through disruption, through plans that collapse, doors that close, paths that get blocked, not as punishment, as redirection. The universe closing one route to force you toward a better one that you wouldn't have chosen on your own. And it communicates through silence, through periods where nothing seems to be happening, where the request has been sent and the response is, wait. Not because nothing is being prepared, because what's being prepared requires more time, more development, or more alignment before it can arrive intact. Synchronicity, body wisdom, disruption, and silence. Those are the 4 channels the universe uses to talk back. And most people are deaf to all 4, because they're so busy sending messages that they never stop to receive them. Learning language 3 requires one thing above all else: stillness. Not the forced stillness of sitting rigidly in meditation waiting for a sign. The organic stillness of someone who has sent their message, trusts that it was received, and is now genuinely available to hear the response. Think about how a real conversation works. You speak, then you stop speaking. You create space. You listen. And in that listening, the other party responds. Not always with the words you expected, not always on the timeline you preferred, but always with something. The conversation with the universe works identically. You send your message through your state and your attention, and then you stop sending. You create space. You listen, not with your ears, with your awareness. You become available to receive whatever comes back. Synchronicities, gut feelings, closed doors, open doors, silence that requires patience. Here's the daily practice for language 3. After you've done your state regulation and your attention setting, after you've sent your message clearly, add 5 minutes of reception. Just sit. Don't ask for anything. Don't visualize. Don't affirm. Just open. Say internally, I've sent my message. I'm now available to receive. Whatever wants to come through, I'm listening. And then pay attention, not with expectation, with curiosity. Notice what arises, a thought you didn't generate, a feeling that doesn't belong to your current situation, a memory that surfaces for no obvious reason, an impulse to do something you hadn't planned. These are not random noise. These are responses. Over time, and this develops faster than most people expect, you'll start to feel the difference between your own mental chatter and the universe's response. Your chatter is busy, repetitive, and often anxious. The universe's response is quiet, specific, and arrives with a clarity that feels different from your normal thinking. It doesn't argue. It doesn't repeat. It states, once, clearly, and then it waits to see if you heard. The moment you start hearing, the moment the monologue becomes a dialogue, manifestation transforms from something you do to the universe into something you do with the universe. And co-creation is infinitely more powerful than requesting. And here's the deepest part of language 3, the part that separates people who manifest from people who truly co-create. True surrender includes the willingness to hear not this, the willingness to hear not yet, the willingness to hear, I have something better than what you asked for, but you need to let go of your version first. Most people only want to hear, yes, it's on its way. And so they filter the universe's responses through their desires, keeping only the confirmations and ignoring the redirections. That's not listening. That's selective hearing. And selective hearing turns the conversation back into a monologue. You talking, you interpreting, you controlling the narrative. Real dialogue means being willing to be surprised by the answer, willing to be redirected, willing to receive something you didn't ask for that turns out to be what you actually needed. That willingness, that radical openness to the universe's intelligence is the highest form of communication available, and it produces results that your conscious mind could never have planned. Language 3 is where manifestation graduates into co-creation. It's where you stop treating the universe like a catalog and start treating it like a partner. And partnerships, real ones, where both sides contribute intelligence, produce realities that neither side could have created alone. Let me show you what a complete conversation with the universe looks like. All 3 languages working together as a single practice. Step 1, regulate your state. Before you say a word, before you think a single intention, tune the instrument. Slow your breathing. Soften your body. Let your nervous system drop into safety. This is not preparation. This is the first message. Your body shifting from contraction to openness tells the universe, I am safe, I am available, I am ready to receive. That's the foundation of every clear communication that follows. Step 2, direct your attention. Now choose what you focus on, not by suppressing what you fear, by consciously selecting what you want to amplify. Look at what's already working. Feel the evidence of abundance that already exists in your life, no matter how small. Let your attention rest there, not as denial of what's hard, as a deliberate choice about which signal to strengthen. Then, from that state and that focus, set your intention. Notice the difference. You're not making a request from a state of lack. You're making a request from a state of abundance. The request is the same words, but the signal is completely different, and the universe responds to the signal. Step 3, surrender and listen. Now stop. Stop sending. Stop asking. Stop pushing. Create space and open. Say internally, I've communicated clearly. My state, my attention, and my intention are aligned. I now release this message, and I am available to receive. And then, for at least 5 minutes, just listen. Let the universe respond. Through a feeling, through a knowing, through a redirection, through silence. Whatever comes back, receive it without filtering, without judging, without deciding whether it's the answer you wanted. That 3-step sequence, regulate, direct, surrender, is the complete conversation. State sends the foundation. Attention sends the request. Surrender opens the line for a response. And when all 3 are present, the conversation is fully open for the first time. What happens when you practice this daily, and it takes less than 15 minutes, is a gradual but unmistakable shift in how reality responds to you. First, the noise clears. Manifestations stop arriving distorted because you've eliminated the contradictions between what your body is saying, what your attention is requesting, and what your mind intends. The signal is clean, and clean signals produce clean results. Second, synchronicities increase, not because the universe suddenly became more active, because you finally opened the receiving channel. The synchronicities were always there. You were just too busy sending to notice them. Third, and this is the most profound change, you stop needing to control the outcomes. Not because you've given up, because you've entered a relationship of trust. You've experienced enough accurate responses from the universe to know that the intelligence on the other side of the conversation is real, specific, and operating with a perspective that exceeds your own. You go from demanding specific outcomes to participating in an unfolding, from forcing a monologue to engaging in a dialogue, from shouting into the void to having a conversation with an intelligence that has been waiting, patiently, quietly, for your entire life, for you to stop talking long enough to hear what it's been trying to say. Let me leave you with this. You haven't been ignored. The universe has heard every message you've ever sent. It has responded to every signal with perfect accuracy. The problem was never that your messages weren't being received. The problem was that the messages you thought you were sending and the messages you were actually sending were two different things. Your words said abundance. Your body said scarcity. Your affirmations said love. Your attention said fear. Your intentions said freedom. Your nervous system said survival. And the universe, caught between contradictory signals, responded to the louder one. It always does. Now you know the three languages. State is the foundation. Make your body the message. Attention is the request. Make your focus the signal. Surrender is the dialogue. Make space to receive the response. Regulate, direct, surrender. That's the complete conversation. The universe has always been listening. It was never the problem. The communication was the problem. And the communication just changed. What shifts from here is not the universe's behavior. It's yours. You begin to speak in languages the universe can actually understand. You begin to hear in channels you've been deaf to. And the relationship that was always there, the one between your consciousness and the intelligence that organizes reality, comes online. Not as theory, as lived, daily, felt experience. A conversation that deepens every time you practice it. In the comments, tell me which language you've been missing. Language 1. Has your body been sending a different message than your mind? Subscribe if this is the first video of mine you've watched. This channel is about the mechanics of reality, how the conversation actually works, not how you wish it worked.